Okay, and we're recording. So we're talking about grit today. And grit is a personal development book that I'm reading right now, but I feel like it's a really good tool for all of us to kind of think about and get us in the right mindset and stuff like that for where we are in our growing businesses going into 2018. Okay, so according to the dictionary, grit is defined as firmness of character, an indomitable spirit. But according in the book, okay, I'm going to. Hi, Whitney. I see you joined us. We're chatting. I just muted you. So if you want to chat, just unmute yourself. But you can do that in a little bit. It looks like somebody else you. Courtney, I just saw you joined. I muted you as well. If you need to unmute yourself, please feel free. Okay, so in the book, the author, her last name is Duckworth. She defines it as perseverance and passion for long-term goals, which I think is like what we're all after right now, is the perseverance and passion for our long-term goals. So I want to just talk about the 5 characteristics of grit that stand out most to me. Number 1, courage. I feel like this is literally the number 1 characteristic of grit. While courage is hard to measure, it's directly related to your level of grit. More specifically, your ability to manage fear of failure is an imperative and a predictor of your success. Your ability to manage fear. The people who are supremely gritty are not afraid of failure. They're not afraid to tank, but rather they embrace it as part of this process. They understand that there are valuable lessons in defeat and that being vulnerable to keep going is a must for high achievement. So knowing that you could fail at any moment needs to drive you to be better. Fear of failure is literally a medical condition. It is a debilitating disorder, and it's an unhealthy aversion to risk. That's all fear of failure is. It's an unhealthy connection or relationship you have with taking risk. So some symptoms that you might be experiencing if you are having a fear of failure: anxiety, mental blocks, and perfectionism. You're afraid to post anything on social media because it's not perfect. You don't know what to post on social media because you just can't even think. Or you have complete anxiety over what you put on social media. You're afraid of what people are going to think of you or anything like that. So, in the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, do something every single day that scares you. Courage is like a muscle. It has to be exercised. So if you do it, it will grow. Your courage will grow the more you do scary things. And your courage helps fuel your grit. They feed off of each other. So you need to figure out how to manage it well so that they function healthily. Okay, I'm opening this up real quick. I'm even going to stop sharing my screen for 1 second and ask you guys, what scares you? Feel free to raise your hand or something so I can unmute whoever. Brittany.
Rejection scares me.
Okay. So every day you're going to ask, you're going to invite, you're going to practice that muscle and be okay with it. You're going to go for no. Read the book. Next personal development book for you, I think, is Go for No.
Okay.
You need the rejection to get over it, to get more yeses. So I feel like that's where you need to flex that muscle right now. Your courage muscle needs to be flexed on the nose.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
What else is somebody else scared of? Jen.
I am scared that I don't always have the right words to say to people.
Perfectionism. You're scared of not being perfect. So my thoughts to you are you talking about publicly, in a post, or privately?
Privately.
Okay, that's just practice. And we're going to get to that with grit. That's practice. That's just doing it in repetition and becoming more confident in yourself. So that's just plugging into your team. Just ask questions. Don't worry about it. Just keep asking questions. when you post in those, like your little screenshots or whatever, that's okay. Absolutely. You've never, ever once, ever annoyed me with that. So like, please keep doing that. Don't feel bad about it or anything like that. Ask questions if you have them. It's better to ask than like lose a sale when it could have been prevented if necessary. Anybody else want to jump in and say what they're afraid of with the business? Cassie, with your mouth full.
I'm always afraid that people are like just judging it. But we've talked about this, and that's just like getting out of my own head and being like, well, if they're judging, like they probably have bigger issues than whether or not I'm being successful doing what I want to do.
Sure. So
I'm getting better.
You just answered your own question. So I think that for you, personal development, if you haven't read it yet, or maybe read it again, you are a badass. Okay. Have you read it?
I'm working on it. I'm like halfway through it, but yeah.
So I think that's a good one for you, but it's just
right
a matter
now.
of your mindset. You just need to realize like, I don't care what other people think.
Oh, I'm like this far away from being there, so I'm pumped about it. But.
Good. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep going. If you guys have other things that scare you, put them in the chat box and we'll come back to them. So feel free to stick them in there. All right. I'm going to share my screen again. Get back into this. Okay. So next, let me get back to my notes. Conscientiousness, achievement-oriented versus dependable. That's a lot of big words right there. So whoever like comprehended that at this time of day, good for you. But as you probably know, it's generally agreed that there are 5 characteristic traits from all human personalities. Get this, they're called the big 5. They're openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neurotic. So each of those has like both ends of the spectrum. And any given moment, you could be one of them or all of them. One minute you may feel more agreeable, the next more neurotic, but fortunately, on the day-to-day, they all collectively remain pretty stable for all of us. We're never really on one end or the other unless we're pregnant. Of these personality traits, conscientiousness is the most closely associated with grit. However, it seems that there are 2 types, and how successful you'll be depends on which type you are. So when I'm talking about this, try and figure out like which type are you. So conscientiousness in this context means careful and painstakingly meticulous. So the achievement-oriented individual is one who works tirelessly. They try to do a good job and they complete the task at hand. Whereas the dependable person is more notably self-controlled and conventional. So are you more the achievement-oriented? You're like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to do a good job and I'm going to do it and I'm going as hard as I can. Or are you more the dependable? I'm going to do it every day, show up, doing the things. Not surprisingly, it was discovered that the achievement-oriented traits predicted job proficiency and educational success far more than the dependable. So a self-controlled person may never step out of line. They may fail to reach the same goals as their peers who are like hustling. So in terms of grit, it's important to commit to go for the gold rather than just show up for practice. It's better to like have that little competitive edge to you than just show up and be average. Or to put it less delicately, it's better to be a racehorse than an ass. So which are you? Let's raise it. I'm just not even going to stop sharing my screen, but raise of hands. Are you dependable? Do you show up every day? Or are you achievement oriented? You hustle. Okay, just think about that. All right. Next, we're going to chat about long-term goals and endurance and follow through. So I'm just going to talk for a second about the best of the best. Let's talk about the Beatles, Bill Gates, and Steve Jobs. How did they build such impossibly powerful spheres of influence? Like, how did they become so gigantic? Goals. They had goals and lots and lots and lots of practice. So according to this study, they actually said that they had 10,000 hours of practice. 20 hours a week over 10 years is what they say is what time you need to dedicate to something to be awesome at it. 20 hours a week for 10 years. Could you imagine what we did if we all spent 20 hours a week for 2 years? What we would do with this business? Because we're not creating Apple software here. We are just inviting people to a business. So one of the distinctions between someone who succeeds and someone who's just spending a lot of time doing something is this: practice must have purpose. So when you're spending time, you need to be doing the right things. You need to be laser focused and actually doing things that are going to generate your business to move forward. So that's where long-term goals come in. Long-term goals provide the context and framework in which what you're doing right now, like your efforts right now, will yield results. So you don't have to answer these, but things to think about. Who is laser focused during their work time? When you sit down at your computer, are you sitting there and you're like, all right, I need to do this and this and this, and I'm going to, like, I know what I'm doing? Or do you sit there aimlessly scrolling Facebook and spend an hour before you even send a message just scrolling your Facebook feed and like liking some pictures? Because like that's not going to get you anywhere. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like sitting down and I'm going to find 10 people and I'm going to message those 10 people and invite them to this. Like that would be a laser focused working session. And I know we have a couple new coaches on here. Whitney, you're probably like, what are you talking about? But I will talk to you more about like what our working power hour is. So don't get overwhelmed with this. This is just talking about endurance and grit and having that passion for this business. So when you're doing your power hour, who is talking with people and end up scheduling other network marketing parties with them instead of inviting them to yours? Who's getting off track with the conversations? Who's buying other people's products rather than pushing your own? Who is just wasting time? Who is sitting there like all of a sudden you're checking your email and then you're Christmas shopping? I've been there. We've all been there, I think. I can't say that any of us have literally not been there. There's days where like we get squirrel brained, but that's not going to yield results. So it's a matter of sitting down, focusing, and having that the follow through, having that long-term goal and endurance to get there, not letting yourself gas out. Okay. Next, resilience, optimism, confidence, and creativity. These are such big words today, guys. Okay, you're gonna fall. Everybody is going to get off course. You're gonna eat pizza all weekend long. You're gonna get drunk for 2 days in a row. You're going to not work out. You're going to hit things. Like you're gonna have a fight with your spouse. Your kids are gonna be sick. You're gonna get sick. There's going to be things that happen that are going to knock you off your course. Are you gonna get back up? Are you gonna start again? Or are you going to let it crumble? I know we've talked in the past about having momentum, and if you lose momentum, it stalls your business and you have to start back at the bottom. So don't let that happen to you. You've got to have the resilience to keep going. So what exactly is resilience? It's the ability to maintain your core purpose and integrity among unforeseen shocks and surprises. So when things come up, do you still have the strength and willpower to keep going? And the answer better be yes, because this is what you're teaching your people. We need to be the leaders of this for all these people that we are leading. Like we're not doing this for ourselves. It's not like we're like selling makeup here. We are teaching people how to not give up on themselves. So we better not give up on ourselves. So an example, someone said they're going to purchase a challenge pack on October 31st, and it's going to lock you into Success Club. It's the last one you need. And it's okay, by the way, it's October 20th. This person said, I'm going to buy this on October 31st. I get paid, no problem. I'm guaranteeing I'm going to buy it. No big deal. Guess what? They don't buy it. If I had $1 for every time someone said they were going to buy it and they didn't, I'd be a Beachbody millionaire already. So they don't buy it. You miss Success Club. You miss it that month because you put all your eggs in that basket and you said, oh, I've got it. They're going to buy on the 31st. Now what? Are you going to crumble? Are you going to throw your hands up and be like, I don't care. this really got under my skin and I can't do this anymore. Or like, I'm not good enough for this. Like this, they said they were going to purchase, this is too hard. Are you going to give up, or are you going to push harder and make that last sale next month before you give up? Are you going to be working at 10:59 on Monday or on October 31st, working to make sure you get that last sale the next month so you hit your goals? That's what resilience is. It's not giving up. It's pushing on when things get hard. So to be driven by resilience, you need to have the following things. Belief that you can find meaningful purpose in life. Belief you can find meaningful purpose in life. So make sure you have a vision and a purpose behind what you're doing. Like, make sure you have a passion for it. The belief you can find influence in your surroundings and the outcome of events. So I'm trying to find an example for that. I didn't write one down. So the belief that you can find influence, the belief that you can influence your surroundings and the outcome of events. So the belief that you can change the world, basically. The belief that you can have an impact on these people that you are helping, and truly believe it in your heart. And then number 3, the belief that positive and negative experience will lead to learning and growth. So when you miss that Success Club one time, never let it happen again. There's no reason not to hit Success Club. You just need to tell yourself, like, okay, I'm learning from this. Like, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket next time, and I'm going to push. I'm going to push, and if I push and I don't hit it, I know that I did everything I could. That kind of thing. Same with your workouts. You give up one day. Day 2, you don't give up. You learn from that you didn't get any results from giving up on that workout, so why would you give up again? Learn from your mistakes. Resilience is the powering mechanism that draws your head up, moves you forward, and helps you persevere despite whatever obstacles come along. In other words, gritty people believe everything will be all right in the end, and if it's not all right, it's not the end. I love that. I'm going to say it again. Everything will be all right in the end, and if it's not all right, it's not the end. If you have grit, you believe that. And if it's not all right, you better keep pushing on until it's all right. Whether that's grit in your business, grit in your physical fitness, whether it's grit in your marriage, grit in your relationships with your children, like whatever that is, keep going until it's okay. Okay, last one. Excellence. Okay, sorry, one more slide over here. There we go. Excellence versus perfection. In general, gritty people don't seek perfection, but instead drive for excellence. It might sound similar, but they're actually very different. Perfection is so unforgiving and inflexible. Certainly there's times where perfection is necessary to establish standards, such as like in athletics, maybe diving or gymnastics where you could like literally fall off a beam high in the sky. You need to be perfect, absolutely. You don't want to just do your best, you need to be perfect. But in general, perfectionism is someone else's perception of an ideal, and pursuing it is like chasing a hallucination. It's just never gonna happen. You're never going to be perfect. Stop thinking that whatever you see on Facebook or whatever you see on, stop comparing yourself to what you think perfect is, and just do your best. So anxiety, low self-esteem, obsessive compulsive disorder, substance abuse, and clinical depression are only a few of the conditions that are related to perfectionism. When you have this desire to think that you have to be perfect, it just doesn't happen. And when that doesn't happen, you start to think bad about yourself. You start to stress out about it. You start to maybe drink or smoke or whatever. You start to become OCD about everything in your house. Like your house isn't perfect, or your kids aren't perfect enough, and you end up like putting them in 15 different therapies or whatever. Like perfectionism, to be clear, is like not what we're striving for here. Excellence is an attitude and far more forgiving, allowing and embracing failure and vulnerability on the ongoing quest for improvement. So when you're striving for excellence, you're just striving to be better every single day. In your business, in your fitness, in your relationships, excellence is an attitude. and it should be something that you strive for. So it allows you to be disappointed, and it prioritizes progress over perfection. Every day be a little bit better. So, so like excellence, to wrap this up, like excellence, grit is an attitude. It is seeking, striving, finding, and never yielding. You're constantly looking. You're constantly trying. You're constantly searching, but you're never gonna stop. Nothing's going to stop you. That's what grit is. And that's what we need to have in our business in order to continue to push forward for ourselves, push forward for our challengers, and have success all around. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. So I don't see anything in the chat box, but I'm going to unmute. Oh, does anybody have anything they want to mention? Does anybody have any questions or anything like that? Does this make sense to everybody? Do you see why we need grit? This is a really good book too. So if you do not stop reading whatever book you're reading right now, but it's a good book to add to your list. I really, really think that if we stop trying to be someone else, stop comparing ourselves to other people, stop striving for perfection, and just try to be the best that we can be and show that, tell that story. I think that that is where we will all start to see our businesses explode. We have a little bit of time left. We have like 10 minutes left. So if nobody has anything to chat about grit, that's totally fine. But does anybody have some questions about what's going on in their businesses, need help with anything right now? Like what's going on? What can I help you with? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Okay, I'm unmuting everybody. General discussion. So everybody's unmuted. First of all, can we all say, hey, what's up, Whitney?
Oh. Hey.
Whitney signed up with us yesterday. I'm super excited for her to get to know our team a little bit. Hey! To get to know our team a little bit because she has a story to tell, and I'm super excited for her to do that. So I don't even know if she got into the trainings yet. We can jump on a chat after this, and I'll get you started. So you're not like, there's so much information. But all right, so everybody has either looked up their local Super Saturday, and if they haven't, they're coming to mine, right? That's what's happening?
What are you talking about?
What? Super Saturday. I posted it in the group. It's the group.
That thing that you're wanting me to come to South Carolina for?
Yeah.
Or wherever you live, Charleston? Something.
South Carolina. Yeah. Yeah. But there probably is one near you. But wait, you're Tampa?
Yeah.
Yes.
You and Whitney. Whitney and Savannah are Tampa. Yeah.
Hello.
So I'll have to look. I don't know if there's one in Tampa or not, but I will look. I'm sure there's one not far. But you can still come here. So Super Saturday, for those who don't know, is a local meetup with all Beachbody coaches in your area quarterly. And the first one is the first weekend in January. Ours is January 7th. It's a Sunday, actually, Super Sunday. And I'm speaking at it. I was asked to speak at ours. So if anyone wants to drive to South Carolina, party at my house that weekend, and you can stay with me, and we will go to Super Sunday. But my husband's even going to be there photographing. He's doing headshots for people, and it should be super fun. You should come. Anyway, so goal for this month, hit Success Club soon. Give yourself a date and don't make that in your mind the end of the month. If you say I want to hit Success Club by the 20th so I can spend the holidays with my family, put the 20th is the end of the month in your head. Make it the end of the month so that way you hit those goals. I'm saying the 15th because who knows what I'm going to have to do between the 15th and the 25th because I'm a procrastinator. But I'm at 6 now. I should be at 8 by the end of today. So my goal is always 10 in mine and 10 in Paul's if I can. So I still have a ways to go. But I'm pushing and I'm excited. Keep sharing your transformation pictures. And when you share a transformation picture, send messages to everyone who comments and likes on it. It's the easiest way to get it done. And obviously just keep having conversations. If you need help having conversations, reach out and we'll just go from there. Everybody good? You have a question?
Nope.
Leah?
No, I'll reach out. I sent your coach invite that you sent this morning. But I sent it to like a personal trainer that I know, and she wants some information. But I'm just
Don't message me. Message Savannah. Not that she's a personal trainer, but in terms of the fitness side, like I think I sent the screenshots of what you and I talked about in the beginning to Taylor, because she's like, how did you get Savannah to do this? Because generally speaking, it's hard to get people that are already into fitness to want to do something like this. So Savannah, you want to mention, like, why did you decide you wanted to do this?
I think it's because not everybody, and I'm not trying to sound cocky in any way, but not everybody at my level, let me word this differently. I wanted to be able to help the people that weren't at the level I'm at with fitness. That's the way I'm trying to say that.
Yeah.
So when I was because I've had people ask me to help, but I only know how I do it.
Uh-huh.
So I was able to, have all these programs and stuff that I can help those that don't want to be a competitor, that want to just be able to help everybody. And that's why I was like, okay, I can do this, because I've had to turn different people down because they don't want, anytime they look at my diet, they're like, hell, I'm not doing that. So that's why when I was like, oh, okay, this is a lifestyle change, it just helps you figure out where you want to be as far as your numbers and, your measuring. It's not so like, I always tell people, I don't want a diet. If you say the word diet, people half time are like, I don't want to do it. And so then if you say, no, this is like a lifestyle makeover, these containers are just to help you portion control what you're already eating. It's not taking anything away from you. It's just telling you how much to have of it. And so that's why I was like, I think I can do this, because I want to be able to help those that don't want to be at a competitor level, that want to just, just have a lifestyle change. And so that's kind of why I went ahead and took the next step and joined.
So Leah, what I think would be a good way to approach that person is be like, we have other fitness professionals on our team, including we have a figure competitor. Like, we have people that are on this team because what we offer is a solution for everyone. So personal training is not for everybody, but this would give you an additional revenue stream that you could help people from home doing similar things that you're already doing, just on a virtual level. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. And I kind of think that's basically like, Savannah had people approach her and be like, help me. And she's like, how can I help you? Like, what am I supposed to do to help you? She's not a personal trainer. It's not her job. It's not like something she has a job and she just likes to work out. So she didn't have like resources she could just be giving out to people. So this was her avenue to be able to do that. So without making it a ton of work for her.
And like if you are a certified personal trainer, then you have, because not everybody's going to, every time a personal trainer meets, they always give somebody a nutritional guide, but a lot of times they're not going to follow it. So if you have something that comes with the shakes, comes with, a meal guide, they're more apt to stay consistent with the diet. And then on her end, she can personal train them too. So she's got that other advantage, because she is a personal trainer. She can use that to her advantage. And then she's got all this to offer them as well, because they're already going to be paying her X amount to train them. So if they're able to spend that, they can spend it on the challenge pack to be able to do it when they're not with her. And that's how she can use that as a sales.
Yeah. When you're not able to get to the gym, at least you can do something from home with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the challenge pack is so freaking cheap when you do the all access for a whole year. It's the cost of like 2 sessions with a trainer. So.
Oh, heck yeah. That's how I've gotten a lot of mine. I'm like, listen, this is super discounted right now. If you don't want to go to the gym, here's how you cannot go to the gym. You can even take it with you. If you
exactly.
Want to.
I have a girl taking it to the gym.
Sometimes people just need to have somebody telling you what to do. Sometimes you just don't know what to do, or you're nervous to try something or look stupid. So then you're like, oh, well, I have this. And then, you know, you have the confidence.
Go wash your hands. Go in your bathroom and wash your hands. Sorry, he's sticky. No, go wash. Yes, go wash your hands and scrub them. Anyway, he has candy cane all over his hands. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, Jen.
Question. This is regarding the challenge pack, like sale price. Do you happen to know, is it going to stay 160 up? They didn't tell you that?
This year, it has been extended through the end of this year, yes.
Right.
I have a feeling it's going to stay after that because of the fact, okay, I'm on a call, guys. After, it's okay, you can come in. It's not a big deal. Just, they're kind of quiet. Finally got a diaper.
I know. That's what I was just about to change.
So we launched in the UK earlier this year, and when we did that, there's a trade agreement with the US and the UK that we can't sell anything more than 200 pounds, and 200 pounds equates to 160 US dollars. So if they were to make theirs, they can't make theirs more than 200 pounds. They can't legally. So if they make ours $199 and theirs is $160, I don't think that they can actually do that. So I have a feeling it's probably going to stay at 160, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah. They might change the packages up. I have no idea.
Right. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Your hands.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
The 80-day obsession, someone like mentioned, is there a completion pack for like coaches who already like, where's the link for that?
I will post all the pictures. I think I did in our team chat. But I will post them again in the team page if I didn't already do that.
Okay.
There's like packages.
I might have lost it, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay, no problem. There's packages, and Ash Brockington actually created these images that I showed, but she kind of did it like the overachiever, the overachiever package, like the competitor package, like she kind of like made them into like names. So whether you're an overachiever and you want to get the whole package where you can get everything for those 80 days, it comes with all the energize and recover that you need, all that kind of stuff for the full 80 days. Or you can just get the completion package or whatever you want to get. Like there's all different packages. Cool. I'll post that in the team page. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to jump off. Whitney, I will message you and we can jump on a chat just to get you started, right?
Awesome.
And if anyone else needs me, you know where to find me. Y'all have my number. All right. I will talk to you guys all later.
Bye.
Did you guys say bye? Say bye, guys. Christian waves. See you guys later.